Hello guys and welcome back to Level Up Your Kitchen. Today I'm going to introduce you to what I call pasta alla credenza. I've always called it cupboard pasta, but pasta alla credenza sounds a lot better and is just Italian for pasta cupboard. So this is a recipe that I kind of found while playing around because I had nothing else in the fridge, and it's things that I tend to always have in. So to get started, we're going to chop up an onion. With this it really doesn't matter if you want to dice it, slice it, whatever works for you. I'm going to slice through just to make it a little bit smaller. Right, now that we've sliced up our onion, we're going to go for a bit of chorizo. Today I've got chorizo and bacon because it's what I've got in the fridge, but whatever you guys have in, anything, just add a bit of meat if you're vegan, vegetarian. Sometimes some peppers can taste quite nice in this. We don't need an awful lot. We're just going to chop it up nice and small and fry it off. There really is nothing wrong in this recipe. You can really use whatever you want. We're going to chuck the chorizo straight into the pan and let's turn that on and get that frying off. Alright, let's put that on a high temperature, let's get that started. Now again, because I've got bacon, I'm going to add 2 slices of bacon to it as well. If you've got it, use it. If you don't, don't. You can add some ham in instead, chicken, really just whatever's kind of lying around. Let's chuck that in as well. So let's get that frying off. While we're waiting for that, let's turn our pasta on as well. Feel free to use your favourite pasta. Today I've got macaroni in the cupboard, so we're going to use that. Put in enough pasta for as many people as you want to have it. Normally it's about 100 grams per person, or a good handful. While we've got that start to frying, I'm just going to crush up some garlic. If you don't have garlic, it really doesn't matter. This really is just whatever you've kind of got all put together. I think technically there is a version of this or a pasta called arrabbiata, which is kind of close to what this is, but I'm sure any Italian would tell me I'm very far off. So don't quote me. So we crush our garlic and just start to peel it. Just give that a quick stir so none of that's burning. And just slice up your garlic. You can mince it if you want to. I quite like garlic and I don't mind there being bigger chunks, so I'm going to leave it as bigger chunks, kind of like that. So next off, let's add the onions in. Leave the garlic out for a minute because the garlic can catch and burn, and you don't want that. Again, it just starts to taste a bit bitter. Chuck those onions in to fry off as well. I love putting chorizo in this recipe because it really gives everything a nice red colour. There's lots of extra smoky flavour in there. Just going to grab a little bit of salt to throw into our pasta water to make that taste a bit better. about a teaspoon normally is about right. Just give that a bit of stir to make sure nothing's stuck on the bottom. And let's leave that to cook. Okay, let's throw in our garlic. Give that a nice little stir in. It's a great time to turn on the extractor fan, but today, because we're recording, I'm not sure what the mic's going to sound like with it on, so we're going to leave it off. Alright, now the onions have started to cook down, we can go in with our tomato sauce. It's like Spanish tomato frito. You can put in fresh tomatoes and just crush them down a bit. Once they start reducing, it will taste exactly the same. Again, with this you can put all of it in, or you can just go for half and give it a nice little mix up. Like I said at the beginning, this is a recipe that was really born from necessity, so you can chuck absolutely anything into it. One more thing I like to add into it if I've got it in the fridge, let's check. Yep, we've got some red pepper. We just slice that up. It's good if you've got it, add it in later on and it keeps its bite to it and gives you kind of a nice new texture to add in there. Right, now that's pretty much everything we need to add into the sauce done, apart from seasoning it. So we've already got some smoky notes with the chorizo. If you've got paprika, it's a great time to add it in. Today I've got some black pepper, some basil, and let's add in a little bit of chili. That's probably about half a teaspoon of basil. Black pepper, I'm really a fiend for black pepper, so I put it in everything because I like the heat that comes with it. But again, just season it to your taste. We've got some chili, so I'm going to take out 2 little chilies and we'll just chop them up. Again, this is probably going to be quite spicy as they're little cayennes, but you can kind of go with whatever you want. If you want it to be spicy, add more. If you don't want it to be spicy, leave it out. Let's give that a little mix up. Probably turn this down a bit now. But that's the kind of look that you want to get to. Okay, we can bring our sauce off the heat completely, just make sure nothing burns, and that's looking pretty good. Drop that down there. While packing away, I managed to find a bit of cheese. If you've got it, why not chuck it on? Most people like to grate it. I can never be bothered to clean the grater, so I always just slice cheese like this. And just slice it up a little bit. As long as it's nice and thin, it should melt nice and easily. Let's check on one of these pasta bits of macaroni. Still just a bit under, so we'll give that a little bit longer to cook. I reckon that's my pasta just about done. I like it a little bit chewy, so it should be about there. Let's give it a little taste. That's hot. That's perfect. Let's put that over there. Let's just drain it off quickly. If you've got a colander, you're probably less likely to get burnt and lose pasta, but right now I don't. Okay, so that's our pasta just drained. It doesn't matter too much if there's a little bit of liquid left in it, because that will just help to water down the sauce a little bit because it's gone quite thick. So if we empty all of that lovely sauce straight into the pasta and give that a little stir up, make sure everything gets coated. Macaroni's great for that because all the sauce will just kind of get absorbed right into the middle. Give you a tastier bite. And give it a good mix up, make sure everything at the bottom, there's no pasta that doesn't have any sauce. If you'd put more tomato sauce in this point, it would be a bit thicker, or like this, it's just kind of nice and coats everything. Right, let's grab a bowl. Let's help ourselves to a good portion. I'm quite hungry, so let's make it a big one. Like that, and I'll grab a little bit of cheese to sprinkle over the top. Like I said, I'm a pepper fiend, so I'm gonna put a little bit more black pepper on top. And here we go. We've got pasta alla credenza. For stuff you've always got in the cupboard, it's such a tasty meal. With the chorizo that stays quite crunchy, and the pepper's really crunchy, and then the cheese just starts to melt on top. It really is. It's an easy midweek meal that takes a good 15 minutes. And it's done. Try it at home and let me know what you think.